Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Life Reset Collective. My name is Josh. Today, we're talking about how to stop energy vampires from stealing your energy. This is really important as you are rebuilding your life after your life reset. Energy vampires exist. They are, people, sometimes even situations and relationships that drain your energy without giving you anything in return. So it's like they suck the life and energy out of you, but there is no return on this. It's not an investment. It's not good in any way. It just drains you and it's a waste of your valuable time and energy. And to be honest, it takes away valuable life energy, valuable motivation, valuable happiness, valuable, like everything you're going to need to conduct your life reset journey with success. Your resources are going to become so important, and managing them is going to be important on this journey of rebuilding your life after destruction, after calamity. That's what a life reset is about. But if you have energy vampires stealing your energy, your motivation, right, your happiness, you can't afford this. So how do you cut it off? How do you stop it? Well, that's what we're going to talk about in this video. The Life Reset Collective, this channel, exists to support individuals rebuilding their lives after loss, trauma, burnout, or major life transition. Through soul-deep encouragement, sacred wisdom, and practical tools, we walk with you as you begin again with intention, self-compassion, and courage. We believe healing is non-linear, that everyone deserves a second chance, and that your story isn't over. This is just the beginning of your next chapter. Okay, now let's talk about this energy vampire situation. First of all, we need to do the painful work of realizing exactly what an energy vampire is. It's really important for you to understand this. Okay, so I'm going to go through this. This is actually an AI overview generated by the Google AI. This is really important. An energy vampire is someone who consistently leaves you feeling emotionally, mentally, or physically drained after interactions, often due to their chronic negativity, neediness, drama, or self-centeredness without necessarily being malicious. They can be friends, family, or colleagues who take more than they give, leaving you feeling exhausted or overwhelmed. This behavior stems from issues like low self-esteem, codependency, narcissism, or trauma, leading them to seek constant emotional regulation from others. Okay. Now, here are some common types and behaviors amongst energy vampires. There's the criticizer, constantly points out flaws and rarely offers positivity, eroding your confidence. There's the dramatizer, exaggerates stories and creates chaos to stay the center of attention. There's the blamer, avoids responsibility and blames others for their problems. There's the constant talker over sharer, dominates conversations, making it a one-sided monologue. There's the perfectionist pessimist, drains energy through negativity or intense demands. Now, how do energy vampires actually affect you? Well, here's how. They emotionally drain you. You may feel stressed, sad, guilty, or angry after these interactions. They can create mental fatigue. You may end up feeling mentally spent or worse than before the conversation. They can create physical symptoms. In extreme cases, chronic exposure can lead to anxiety or depression. And I'm telling you what, right now, it can even affect how you feel physically. It can affect your body. Okay. Now, with that being said, we want to talk about how to keep energy vampires from hurting you on your journey. Now, I have a free ebook, which I'm going to show you right here. It's called The Life Reset Framework, 9 Steps to Begin Again. Okay. This ebook contains all 9 steps of my life reset process. I've been through 2 major life resets, both times due to divorce, basically needed to start over from scratch in both cases. In this last one, not only am I having to restart my life from scratch after divorce, but I'm also starting my career from scratch because I got laid off from my job in the middle of my divorce. So there is a lot going on there, but I have these steps outlined here. And, one of the steps, I believe it's step number 5, is take charge of your resources. We only have so many resources, so much money. We only have so much mental energy. We only have so much bandwidth. We only have so many hours in the day. We need to really take charge of our resources at some point in our life reset journey so that we can begin spending them very carefully where we need to spend them. Some people might criticize you for how you choose to spend your energy, spend your time, spend your money. But here's the thing. If we do not be very careful about how we spend all of our resources, then we can keep floundering and even sink back down into disaster mode. We want to get out of disaster mode. We want to build a beautiful life. We want to build an amazing life. We want to get to the point where we have an abundance of resources to spend on all kinds of things that we love and enjoy and find pleasure in and find peace in. But right now, you're probably dealing with a lot of scarcity if you're in the middle of a life reset. So managing your resources is important. And Fending off energy vampires is important because your emotional energy, your happiness, your peace, these are also resources that will just get drained by these people. Okay. So let's talk about how to avoid energy vampires in your life. So Google AI is pretty simple about this. To avoid energy vampires, they say, set firm boundaries, limit your exposure, stay emotionally neutral by not reacting to their drama, and focus on protecting your own energy by disengaging or politely ending conversations, remembering their behavior reflects on them, not you, and prioritizing self-care like meditation or spending time in nature. Friends, this is really good advice, but I'm going to take it a step further here with a little bit of my own personal takes, right? So there are people in my life who I care about, who, I used to spend a lot of time with, who I realized in this process were serious energy vampires. I didn't really used to care about it as much when I had energy to spare. It was like, well, talking to them is a little negative, but I do care about them. I want to talk to them, or whatever. But when I got to a point where my energy was really scarce, where I had to really ration it, I very quickly cut a lot of these people out, because the reason is, like, I didn't have the energy to spare. And you probably know what I'm talking about. Drop me a comment and let me know, like, a situation in your life that kind of mirrors this, like a time when you realized I literally don't have the energy for this. Like, if I want to show up to work and perform well, if I want to show up for my kids and perform well, if I want to be able to show up, in any important areas of my life and perform well, I cannot be having my energy ceaselessly drained by these people who are acting negative. And sometimes it's even a situation. Sometimes it's a living space. You're in a living space that is just so negative, and it drains you, and you feel sapped and just depleted whenever you're there, right? So this is very difficult to navigate, especially if you don't have very many options. If you have unlimited money, you can just get your own place to live and you can change locations. Well, that's easy, or easier. But the problem with a life reset is that generally when one thing collapses, many other things collapse too. So you may not have unlimited money. You may be looking at a situation where you're like, I kind of need help. But what if the people most willing to help me are also extreme energy vampires? This is such a hard situation to be in, man. Because sometimes you have to take the help and then you just have to get through the energy vampirism. But sometimes you need to set the boundary and say, no, I'm literally going to do this alone, even if it's harder, because I can't have these people in my life. And it kind of depends on the severity of the vampirism, and it depends on the severity of your situation, right? So with that being said, and I'm not trying to sound ungrateful, like, I'm going to be quite honest. I have been helped by energy vampires in my life before, and it always came with a very intense cost. I have gotten to a point in my life now where I'm more likely to just say, no, I'll do it myself, even if it's harder than doing that. But there were times in my life when I did say yes to it. So I've experienced both. And it's kind of a case by case thing. I'm not trying to sound ungrateful for the help I've received from people, because gratitude is important, but we have to call a spade a spade, and we have to call energy vampires what they are, and we have to be honest with ourselves about this too. One thing about being around these people is that when you're going through a life reset, you're going to be really down. You're going to be really beat up, probably. You're probably going to be doubting yourself a lot. These types of people are very dangerous right now, because when you are down already and you're already beaten up and you're already at risk of, like, not trusting yourself to believe the right thing, not trusting yourself to do the right thing, and then these people start in on you, it can really hurt you. Like, it can really mess your brain up, right? Because what you need is to regain your confidence. You need to regain your sense of self. You need to regain your sense of power in your life so that you can start acting upon your life with confidence. That's what we need to do. That's the direction we always need to go toward whenever we're rebuilding our lives. And these people work against that. They will want you to question yourself. They will, try to make you feel bad about your situation. Maybe not even intentionally. Sometimes they will even rationalize it, saying, I just care about you. I'm just trying to give you another perspective. Like, this is so crazy. Even me saying that is so crazy. But that's what they'll say sometimes. Or they'll say, that's just how I am. That's just how I love you. That's how I show you I love you. I'm just a good person trying to help you out, right? It's so wild. It's so crazy. But that's kind of the line you'll get a lot of times. And that's what they believe. But the truth of their actions is that they're very depleting and draining, and they beat you up, and they hurt your confidence, and they hurt your ability to trust yourself, and they hurt your ability to take power over your own life. So anyway, with that being said, to avoid energy vampires. We do need to set boundaries. We also need to really keep things straight in our mind. You really need to keep straight in your mind that you have power over your life and over your destiny. You really do. Even at your lowest point, you have a great deal of potential to positively impact your life and to rebuild your life in an amazing way. You have the power to do that. We all do. But in order for you to realize that destiny, you'll have to believe in yourself and you'll have to take control over your life. And you'll have to trust yourself to do this. You're going to have to trust yourself so much that you have complete confidence in your ability to do this. And having that confidence is very hard when there are people all around you trying to tell you you don't have that ability or that you are going to fail. Sometimes the very best thing you can do is to get alone and listen to like really positive podcasts or really positive, audiobooks, or like watch really positive YouTube channels trying to reclaim your sense of power. Try to stay away from these people as much as you can and fill your mind with optimism, fill your mind with positivity, fill your mind with empowerment, fill your mind with an attitude of, I'm not done yet. My life isn't over and I can trust myself. I've learned so many lessons through this life reset. I can trust myself now to move beyond this. I can get up out of the mud. I can begin to climb this mountain and escape this disaster, and I can make it to the other side. I can build the life I want now. Now I'm even better equipped than I was before because I've learned all these lessons. We need to believe in ourselves like this. We cannot let these energy vampires tell us that we can't trust ourselves or that we're incapable or we just need their help or we're going to fail. No, that's not how it is. That's never how it is. So I need you to believe in yourself. I need you to trust yourself. And I need you to not listen so much to these energy vampires who will try to get you to doubt yourself. Okay. One more thing I want to say here is that it is so hard to rebuild your life, but I believe in you. You can do this, friend. If I can do it, you can do it. And I am working on it. I am making great progress. And there are people who don't believe in me. I meet people who, and they take a look at my life and I know they instantly doubt me and they look down on me. Just the other day, I was on a date and I told this lady about my situation, but then I had her over to the house and she took one look at my house and how it's like half moved into, half moved out of, it's under construction. Like I'm in the middle of a transition. And she just took one look at it and she was like, wow, this is a turnoff. Like you're like, I thought you were such a put together person and your house is like a mess. I mean, my house is a mess. It's an organized mess, but it's half moved into, half moved out of. My life, I just went through hell, friends. I just went through hell and I'm still trying to work 60 hours a week and get my life together. So she said that, and this was very interesting. I realized right away, this is an energy vampire. I don't need this person in my life because I've had other people over to my house. And the first time they saw my house, they said, oh, don't worry about the mess. Like, I understand. I've been there. Like, let's just hang out. Let's have a good time. And like, so there's a positive part of it. But then she was like criticizing, telling me it was a turnoff and this and that. It's like, I don't need that. No, I don't need that in my life. I don't need anyone in my life, in my circle. I don't need anyone who's giving any energy that I am less than, that I'm not good enough, that I am, for some reason, a failure or a turnoff or anything like that because of circumstances that I'm working on. No. This is energy vampirism in its most pure form. Now, that's not to say that I think that she was a bad person or that she didn't deserve her opinion, but I also deserve to say, I don't want to spend any more time with you. And that's what I said. That's what I said. Because the goal isn't to please these people. The goal is to rebuild your life. And I don't need to tell you, if you're watching this, then you already know what I'm talking about. You already know that sometimes in life, I mean, if you could wave a magic wand and fix 100 things, you'd do it. But we're limited on time and energy, and we need to focus on the things that matter the most. When you're putting out fires in your life, you've got to focus on the ones that are going to, save the most lives first. You've got to really be strategic about how you spend your resources. And that's what I'm doing, and that's probably what you're doing. So there isn't necessarily time to make my house look pretty and perfect right now. I've got work, I've got kids, I've got dogs that need me. I've got to get my money situation back on the upside, right? There's a lot of things that have to get done in my life before I start decorating my interior with new furniture. God forbid, I can't afford, I shouldn't be spending $1 on new furniture right now. That would be so irresponsible of me. But then you have people coming in, and instead of understanding that, they criticize. They tell you you're less than. They tell you you're not good enough. Okay, then you are not good enough, and you should tell them to go ahead and go find someone good enough. That's how it is out here, friends. And you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I just want to give you some encouragement today. You are doing the best you can. Keep up. Keep at it. Keep your chin up. Don't let these energy vampires ping your confidence. Don't let them steal your self-belief. You can do it. You have what it takes, and you will succeed at this, okay? All right, that's going to be all for this one. Thank you so much for coming back to the Life Reset Collective. My name is Josh. I'll see you awesome people on the next one.